This is what to do if a loved one gets diagnosed with a mental illness. My name is Vicky and I make videos about mental health and my experience with bipolar disorder and OCD. And today I'm going to share what are the things that are helpful whenever you get diagnosed with a mental illness. Because I went through it and it was a very difficult time being diagnosed with all these things. And I think that, there are a few things that the people I loved did that were really, really helpful. I think number one, labels can be really scary. And, labels, like for me, it was bipolar disorder, but it can be any other mental health or mental illness, diagnosis. And that can sound really scary. And I feel like in the moments that somebody's diagnosed, and if they're sharing this with you or if you're with them in the moment, try to withhold judgment of what that is or what that could mean for their lives. So I think that oftentimes, judgment can look like, and it's not ill-intended, but it can look like, oh, you don't have that, that's for crazy people, maybe we just need other opinions and don't listen to them. And although yes, second opinions, they're good, right? Just getting another doctor to tell you yes or no. But I think at the same time, this is a moment where you need to validate the struggles of this person. And you, instead of creating more fear about what that could mean for their lives, it's more so, hey, I'm here. I can see that this is a really hard day. I'm not gonna lie, that it might be hard for me too, but I'm here for you. And not chatting so much about the specific diagnosis, what it means, what it does, the symptoms, and that at the beginning, just being there, hugging that person, letting them cry if they need to, letting them express their emotions, express their fears, and maybe not even trying to fix it, right? Like if they're like, oh, I'm scared, I'm never gonna, be able to do X, Y, and Z, instead of maybe trying to find all the solutions, it's like sympathizing with them. That's a really hard thought. I'm here for you to go through these things. I'm here for you to support you whatever way that you need. So I think that is like one of the most helpful things that you can do when somebody's diagnosed with these mental illnesses. I think second is doing the research. If you're somebody who's primarily with this person, maybe you are in care of them, it's really important to do your research, to really understand what this diagnosis is, to really understand the medications, in order for you to be able to tell, are they reacting a certain way to a medication? Should they go back to the doctor? Or what does it mean when this person acts a certain way? What are the red flags of, maybe they're gonna have an episode or something like that. So really doing that research is also extremely helpful. And I think also, oftentimes when you're diagnosed with these things, it typically goes hand in hand with going to therapy to try and manage all these emotions, manage the symptoms alongside sometimes typically with medication. I also think that the caregiver should go to therapy as well, because it can take a big toll on their mental health as a caregiver to manage and deal with all of these emotions. Because at the end of the day, yes, you might not be the person being diagnosed, but you are affected by this person's struggles. So I think it's also important to take care of yourself so you can best take care of them. And that is, one of the ways is by going to therapy and learning about your own emotions and how to cope with them. So yeah, I think those are the main points. I think holding judgment, trying to not scare the person, or oh, you shouldn't say this, or you shouldn't say that, or what does this mean for you, scaring them, telling them these things. And I get that sometimes that might be we might say things by accident, but trying to avoid the fear or making the anxiety worse is extremely helpful. That this video is helpful. I know that it's hard. I know that it's hard for the person being diagnosed, and I know that it's hard for the people that care for them. But you will get through this, and support and sympathy really do go a long way. So if you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and always remember that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and a bad day does not mean a bad life.